Welcome back to the Gotham and Beyond podcast. I am your host, Vince. Hopefully, you're having a great day. Time for another podcast. And we had a game this weekend. Before we do that, gotham-database.com is our website where you can see all the write ups and all the wonderful things I'm doing for Batman, the role playing game, and DC Heroes, both Mayfair's game, the Meg system, which is awesome. I like to write up things for it constantly. Right now, I've been in a kick for doing G.I. Joe um, characters. I've been doing a lot of the Cobra ones, so you can go over there and check it out. I think the latest one was the Baroness as of this recording. So go ahead and check that out, and you can use those in your campaign if you want to. The reason why I use Batman, the role playing game, mostly is because it's really simple and you're able to. It has the ability for a GM to expand and grow and kind of build his own thing out of it, and that's why I like it the most. And I think that's why it's my favorite edition. It's a 1.5 edition, or maybe close to a 2 edition. So there's some things in there that I get to invent. That's why I like it. Anyway, so it was Saturday. We had two players. The two players wanted to play some iconic characters of DC heroes. So I was like, all right, what do you want to play? You know, we have a book full of characters. We have the cards, whatever. One of them chose Nightwing. So I was like, all right, Nightwing, cool. Nightwing's a pretty good character, street level character, protege of Batman, ready to put on his skills to the test, you know. The other player, she was like, yeah, I want to play Wonder Woman. I'm like, whoop, ooh, that just takes the scale to another level because Wonder Woman is kind of like playing, you know, Superman almost in a sense. She's pretty powerful, the Amazon warrior princess with her lasso of truth and indestructible bracelets at the ready. So I'm like, all right, you know what? Let's roll with this. So the game kind of started out where they got a distress call in the heart of Gotham City. Rumors had surfaced of a daring jewel heist orchestrated by the infamous Catwoman, and our heroes knew that they had to jump into action to get ahead of this whole situation. Nightwing, with his keen detective skills, quickly picked up the trail, tracking Catwoman's movements through the shadows and through the alleyways, and kind of investigated, trying to figure out where she would go based on what he knew about her. So as they kind of treaded closely to where she was, Catwoman, the ever elusive foe, had set up a bunch of traps in the area that they had to get through before they can figure out how to get to her. And it was kind of a diversion, most of these traps, where they had to, maybe it was like a bomb, or it was nothing that was really going to hurt people. So I shouldn't say it wasn't really like a bomb. I kind of made it so that it would blow up, but not really hurt. It was more of an annoying thing to knock things over so that when they got close, she would know. So based on the two characters, they figured it out. Nightwing's ability to process information and his detective skills that he learned from Batman, he was able to figure out some of these traps, trip wires that knock things over when they got close. And Wonder Woman's strength of being able to hold up objects, and they figured out a way that with one of the traps was that the ceiling would collapse on them. So Wonder Woman took an old car in Gotham that was just laying on the side of the road. And obviously in Gotham, things were just destroyed half the time anyway. If you've seen the movies or TV shows, there's just a section of Gotham that's just utter crap. So Wonder Woman took a car and she held it so that the ceiling wouldn't collapse, and kind of jammed it into the building area where the car was. So I had to do some rolls to figure this one out. But it was interesting that she used the car as this to brace the ceiling. So I was like, all right, whatever, inventive role playing. So, they finally got through that. They navigated through the whole building until they finally found her, uh, where they cornered her, and they had to do kind of like a battle off and stuff like that. And she's very agile, and she's able to flip around and shoot things at them and try to get away. But Nightwing actually, so they were on top of the building finally, and Nightwing runs over to her, and he tries to attack, and she jumps out of the way, kicks him in the face. Wonder Woman comes in and tries to go for a couple punches, and Catwoman gets out of the way. She throws down one of those bombs, smoke bombs, to try to get away. I roll for the characters to see if they are blind, and Wonder Woman gets blinded, but Nightwing is partially blinded, and he sees her jumping off the side of the building, so he runs and says he wants to grab her ankle. So I give him a roll for that, and he winds up successfully grabbing her ankle as she's jumping off the side of the building. So he's got her hanging from the side of the building by her foot as she's squiggling around, and Nightwing is holding her up. And he has a pretty decent strength, but he doesn't have a good strength. And he's calling for Wonder Woman to help, but Wonder Woman is completely blind and doesn't know where. So she's trying to follow his voice, and it was quite comical because what happened was Wonder Woman was coming over, and I rolled to see if she would actually trip into Dick, or trip into the Dick, yeah, trip over Nightwing, which will happen if you're blind and trying to walk around and know where you are in an unfamiliar area. I rolled it. She tripped and she flew over Nightwing, and Wonder Woman fell off the side of the building. Now, it's Wonder Woman, so she's really not going to get hurt. She took some damage, obviously, and laid there on the ground in pain. It was a pretty tall building, not enough that it would probably kill somebody, or it may, but it's Wonder Woman, so she's just going to be hurt just a tiny bit as she lay there with her like an imprint into the ground. So anyway, we'll go back to Grayson, who's holding on to Catwoman by her leg, or her paw, as she like to call it, and she's squiggling. And then there's like a whole conversation. She's like, "Let me go," and he's like, "No, you're gonna fall and die. I'm gonna bring you into justice and return the jewels that you've stolen." And it was a back and forth, and then finally I had to roll because Nightwing can only hold on to that much weight for so long, while Catwoman isn't exactly heavy. I would think she's probably 120, 130 the most, if anything, based upon the way she looks. They don't actually list the weight, so I just kind of gathered that. And while Dick is not, I keep calling him Dick, but it is Dick. But Nightwing isn't, a weakling. But holding that much weight with the gravity and by one hand, I decided to, give him a couple rolls. So he did a couple rolls, and she squiggled her way out because he wasn't able to maintain the hold. And she fell and landed perfectly on her feet like a cat does. I rolled to see if she had taken any damage. She did. She took some damage, and she did sprain her foot, but she was able to run off to live another day in Gotham with the now stolen jewels that she had. So the players thought they were going to have an easy victory when they realized it was Catwoman, but they didn't realize that Catwoman is a slippery little kitty. And, just because you think she's a weakling and she's a street level villain doesn't mean that you're going to have an easy 1, 2, 3 and knock her out. She's a formidable villain and in the right of her own, and can hold her own with a bunch of other villains. So, that was the game this weekend. It was a pretty short one. Nothing really big. We played it online just to see how it would, work out. And it was a fun game. So anyway, we'll go back to writing some things up on the blog. If you have any questions, you can actually go to the blog and comment there. I appreciate that. And you can contact me at gothamdatabase@gmail.com if you would like to give a comment or suggest something for the show, or tell me something about the write-ups I've been doing, or whatever. I'm here to listen to you and you listeners out there, and I appreciate the listeners and everything like that. Anyway, I'm going to head out. Hopefully you will enjoy the show. So keep it original, keep it old school. Good night, God bless, and see you next time, people.